Alright YouTube, how's it going? Buster here, my weekly Sunday video. So, said last week, well, a couple of weeks, that I was going to do a video on the Aria Pro 2 Igb-spt. So I'm going to do that today, but I'm going to show you the effects pedal board that I use. So, this is for Sony, a company called Sony Cake. I don't use a lot of effects, so this is quite a cheap board for everything that I kind of need. I've got a wah-wah pedal that I think that was 35 quid, £35. This was £70 I think it was. So it comes with octave, which I don't use, it's fucking stupid. It's got a preamp which is quite similar to the Sans amp preamp system. It's got fuzz and boost and compression. So if I'm ever using any effects, this is what I'm normally using. I normally just use it for doing like a Metallica stuff, stuff like that. So I'll plug this back in. I can show you. I'll show you the guitar. I'll turn this around this way so I can actually see what I'm doing. So the guitar that I keep saying, I've done a video on this before, but I didn't know anything about it. So let's get in. So this is an Aria Pro 2 Igb-spt. So you don't really get these in the UK for some reason. The guitar closest to this you can get is the Integra. But I've found a wee bit more information on it. Quite confusing when you look at the Aria Pro catalogue, because there's a version of this in the Japanese Aria Pro 2 catalogue, and then there's the one in the Korean one. But this is it's a Korean from 1991 to 92, and it's a Billy Gould signature, which I only recently found out. So it's a Billy Gould for Faith No More signature bass. But they do a Japanese version, as I said, which I think is like the proper signature one, and this is another one. Because if you look at you can access the Aria Pro 2 catalogue, and if you look at the 91-92 Korean catalogue, there's this guitar, and then there's a picture just above it on the right hand side of Billy Gould playing it. So this is the Billy Gould signature Aria Pro 2. I bought it, well I kind of swapped it because I like the headstock, because it's very similar to Cliff Burton's headstock on his guitar, and it's obviously all black. So if I'm ever doing any, the pickup obviously are different. He's got a P-bass style pickup, but it's enclosed into one. It looks like a soap bar pickup, but it's still a split pickup, a P-bass pickup. So I've put the original knobs back on this. I did have just black metal ones, but these are the originals that came with it. So I thought I was all just putting it on. As I said before, somebody's had this apart and they've done the old snake bite through here, which means they've put the screws are set differently. The back screws are shorter than what the front screws are. So what they've done is when they've took the neck off, they put the longer screws through the bottom, and it ends up poking out through here. Also, what can happen with that is how that can happen, as I've said before, is the ferrules that they hold the screws in. Normally a guitar would have a neck plate. Well, what happens is these ferrules go deeper into the wood, which means obviously the screws are going to come out through the top of the body. So that's kind of that. So the Billy Gould from Faith No More's signature bass. I don't know any Faith No More songs, so I'm not even going to attempt to play it. So what I'm playing this through the days, I'm playing it through my BH250. I'm playing it through my Laney RB4. And I've explained this before, and like Mad Malcolm, I don't know how it works. I don't know, but basically what happened that this itself, this combo itself, is 165 watt on its own. It's got gain, it's got a compression button, then it's got enhancement, bass, it's got your EQ, treble, volume, it's got a limiter on it, so when you press that, when you hit it, it kind of just flattens everything out. It's got DI at the front, it's got jacks at the back for putting effects loops through, so I could, rather than having it like that, I could put the effects loop. It's for when you get through a board. It means you can have the, I actually don't know how it works, but there's an effects loop at the back, then you've got the it's called, they've got an extension system. So you can buy just a cab that looks exactly the same as this, but obviously it's got no amplifier at the top, so it's just one big 1x15 cab, or you can get a 4x10 I think. Then when you attach it into this, going through the extension port at the back, it becomes a 300 watt amp. I don't know, I think there might be a circuit in this one, I'm not too sure how it works. But basically it enhances it, it's 300 watt now. But I haven't got a cab for it, so I bought from a guy, he was moving back to Spain just before the lockdown. He had an R4, which is the model before this. So the cab's slightly different, it's got the kind of vinyl rather than the soft kind of material on it, so it's got vinyl. He said that when you switched it on and off, it would work, and then if you switched it off and back on again, it wouldn't work. You would need to do it a couple of times for it to work. So I bought it, got it cheap. I think it was like 20 quid or something I paid for it. Brought it back, it worked once or twice, great sounding amp, but then it just wouldn't work after that, it just kept humming. So what I did was I took out the actual amp part, because this one was different, where the cable for the actual speaker is internal, where this one, the R4, the speaker for the actual cab was external, and you had the extension cab as well. So what I did was I just took the amp off, pulled the amp out the back, you just unscrew it, pulls out the back, and then I took the 1x15 out, drilled a hole through the back and put another jack on it. So then that now, the extension goes into this, so I've got two 1x15s, you know what I mean? Right, so it's 2x15, really. Set up so if I ever want to just take this amp anywhere, I can just unplug it and take the amp and leave the cab. Or if I don't want to take my big 4x12, I can actually take my BH15 and then just take the bottom laney and then play it through that as well. So I've got kind of different combinations. This is kind of new on the screen. I got this freeware guitar, so I don't know what I'm going to do with that. That does the same thing as this, believe it or not. That's a 10 watt, no, that's a 20 watt practice amp. So it's 20 watt as is, but on the back it's got an extension on it as well. So if you put the extension into that, it becomes a 40 watt amp. So I don't know how it works, it's magic. I'm just going to say it's magic, and Malcolm will say the same thing, he doesn't understand either, but it seems to work. I've read the manual on this, they don't make this model anymore, the RB4. Well, they do make the RB4, but don't make it with the extension cab anymore. So these are becoming quite hard to get. You get the RB1, RB2, RB3. RB1's a 10 watt practice amp, the RB2 is I think it's a 20 watt, the RB3 is a 60 watt, and then the RB4 is 165 watt, and then it becomes RB5, which is just a header. There's no speaker, it's just a head, and then you go all the way up to RB9, and the RB9's a 1000 watt header, I think, I'm not too sure. Anyway, rambling on. So, let's say this is the Aria Pro 2 SBG Igb-spt. I've got quite a few Aria Pro 2s, I think. How many have I got? think we've 2 just now, but I'm looking for another one. There's one that I had years ago, it was a 5-string, but I want the 4-string model. A Korean made one called the Magna. And if you ever look at my other videos where I do a video on my Aria Pro 2 Maddox, very similar to that, except more kind of 90s style, where it's more sharp and it's got cutaways and stuff. I seen one, a left-handed one, there was one a left-handed one for sale, but obviously I want a right-handed one. I wouldn't mind it with a maple neck. So this is it. So turn everything up. I'm getting a bit of feedback off that. I think there's maybe something wrong with the pickups, because I'm getting a wee bit of... So stand over here when I'm doing it. So the wah-wah pedal, if you press down on it, it's basically just a volume pedal. You press down again, hit a wee click, it's a wah-wah. I see here that must be something must be wrong with these pickups. It doesn't do it when it's down through the BH250, it only does it when it's going through the laney. Don't know why. So that's the wah-wah. I'll click that on so you get boost. Then fuzz. Doing this a wee bit. When you put the fuzz and the boost on, it goes really, there's a big difference between just having it. So if I've got this set at 1, so that's the boost and fuzz off. So that's everything up. I'll set it, this is at 2. Then as soon as I hit the boost and the fuzz, it's loud. So that's it. I don't know why that's doing this. Take a preamp off actually. Obviously that was from who my bell tolls. Right, it's a nice guitar. This is I couldn't afford the real Cliff Burton one. Wish I could, because they're really nice guitars. Even they reissued the signature model, but even getting like the original 80s one, I think they're like $2.5 grand or something. I think the signature one that they re-released is about $5 grand. Strange one. So this is Billy Gould's signature, and I said I had seen it before, and I just bypassed it. I was just trying to find this model, but it's hard to find this model. This exact model, as I said, they do the Integra, but the Integra's got a different headstock. It's got the kind of newer updated Aria Pro 2 headstock. And this one is Billy Gould must have made this the headstock for, because it's the Integra doesn't have that head. That's the kind of old 70s style headstock that they've kept on this. If you look at quite a few, Malco does quite a few videos, and he's got I think it's a 4-sound guitar that's got the same headstock as this. And I think he got an Aria Pro 2 just after this. I got this, and I think that's got the same headstock as this. So I'm no big clued up on Aria Pro, but if you go into just Aria Pro, Google Aria Pro 2 catalogue, you can go through all the catalogues. And I found one similar to it in the Japanese catalogue, but it's not the same, slightly different. And then I found, what I happened to do is seen the picture of Jimmy Gould playing it, and then Google Jimmy Gould's bass, and then obviously it comes up the Igb-spt. So I don't, it's hard to say, because it's written in Korean or Japanese or whatever it is. East Asian or whatever, so you don't really know, but there is one picture of him sitting with one that's got active circuit, and then this one, and then another one, so it's definitely his signature. So Billy Gould, if you Google Billy Gould signature bass from 91, 92, this is the bass he's playing. It's a nice bass. I've got loads of basses, so I'm kinda, if I'm playing Metallica, I'll use this. If I'm playing Thin Lizzy, I'll use my P-bass. I've got a P-bass with flat. I'm kinda that way. If I'm playing Motorhead, I'll play the Rickenbacker copy. It's just the way I am. And it's the excuse for having so many basses. But they are all different. They've all got 2 different 5 strings that are strung up differently, set up differently. This is set up differently. A couple of P basses that are all set up differently, different pickup configurations and stuff for different sounds. But I don't use the effects that often. I'm more into trying to get this slat and pluck thing sorted just now. So I'm kind of in between my 5, I'm also trying to get any 5 string as well, so I've got my 5 strings restrung with new strings, try to get into that, because it's a bit different playing 4 string for so long. The string spacing is really tight, so it's getting your thumb accurately enough so you can hit the note. And muting as well, you need to try and mute. But the one I play a lot of Rage Against the Machine. This is no drop D, this one, so you need to hit the 3rd. When you're playing it with just a normal tuning, you need to hit the 3rd fret. Whereas if you do drop D, you can just hit the top string. But I'm just trying to get any. I don't have a lot of time to practice because I'm away working all the time. But I used to play. Like that. So I'm trying to get into playing. Play like that and be a pick as well. So I'm kind of trying to diverse myself a wee bit more. But I have been playing a bit of Thin Lizzy recently, so I'm trying to get my mate to do the guitar bit on it. So I try to play with a pick as well. Try to hit the string accurately because I've never been a pick player. I've always used my thumb and finger. So kind of halfway, I've always been a player that's half between finger style and thumb. So and then once I started getting doing the duff stuff, watching videos of Duff playing, and he's talking about the fact that the pick makes a big difference, and then your string tension and stuff, and it does make a difference. Like he tunes his half a step down, so you're trying, you're doing Sweet Child of Mine, even with the chorus on, doing it. This is all standard B. It sounds totally different. So it's weird. I'm just trying to diversify myself, my bass playing. So excuse the kind of lot of mistakes, especially when I'm trying to play finger style and stuff. So there you go, Billy Gould's signature Aria Pro 2 from 1991, 91, 92. Showing you off my effects pedals. I say if you don't use effects pedals that much, I would definitely suggest the Sony Cake series. They do a guitar version and everything, different effects and stuff. But for the price that you're paying for, just like you're getting 4 effects. Okay, I don't use one of them, but you're getting 4 effects for the price of 1 pedal. And then your wah-wah. My mate's got a proper Crybaby, and he's had a shot of that, and he says it's really close. The wah-wah's very similar. It's not exactly the same as a Crybaby, but it's very similar. So they've done a good job with the wah-wah pedal. As I say, I don't use it that much. So I wouldn't pay the money for a Crybaby. So 30 quid for a wah-wah pedal that I'm going to use maybe once in a while, or once in a blue moon. I'm happy with that. I wouldn't. So it's definitely an idea if you want to try different effects. The said the octave one I don't use at all. Don't use at all. It just makes your guitar sound shit. And also I've got all the effects on the BH250, so I can then combine, put that chorus on, and I can if I really want to. But 9 times out of 10, if I'm playing it's usually the chorus I've got on this because it's for Duff stuff. My saying, I'm going to license that. I came up with that Duff stuff, so I explain everything Duff stuff. So there you go, that's it. I went a bit of rambling today. Done it early this morning because I want to go and do some stuff on the motorbike. Summer's coming up, so I might start. I don't know where to start another channel for the guitar stuff, for the bass stuff. Sorry, it's all early in the morning for the guitar, the bike stuff. I don't know, or just start putting on this as well. I'm not too sure. But the bike will be interesting because hopefully we're coming out of the lockdown at the end of April, which means that's the start of the bike season. So I'm going to kit my bike out with some cameras and obviously video on my phone and stuff, and then I'll post them up and we go all over Scotland, and we're meant to do a European tour this year. Obviously with COVID and the EU thing, then we've had to cancel it. We're going to go and do, leaving from here, drive all the way, ride all the way down to Dover, and then Dover over to France into Belgium, then into Holland, then round into Germany, or Luxembourg as well, because you go through Luxembourg between Belgium and Holland, you can get Luxembourg into Holland and through Holland into Germany, back through the other side of France, and then back on the boat and home. That was the plan. Well, that was a rough idea. We were just going to go and we booked, I think, 2 weeks off, and we were just going to start riding down. As soon as we got across Channel, we were just going to see how it went. Either we went right in the south of France into Germany and round that way or whatever. But that's between COVID and EU thing. It's a lot of paperwork now to get your bike across in Europe. You need to have a load of things. Carnets, you need to have carnets for every border. It's crazy to prove that the motorbike's yours. So we're going to have to look into that a bit more. So if this season kicks off with the bike stuff, you'll see we'll probably go up north, if we're allowed, that is. I'm going for work to an island called South Uist. So I might take a few videos of that on the ferry and stuff, and I'll post them on the channel. And then a few other things, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, I'm going to keep it a lot of base stuff, motorcycle stuff, and I'll do a video with my bike as well. But that's my two main interests is bass guitars and motorcycles, so, and music. So hope you stay safe. Hopefully we get out of this. Hopefully that sorts out the lockdown at the end of April. It's my 41st birthday in Wednesday there, so I had to spend it in lockdown again. My 40th was in lockdown. So fun and games. Stay safe, and I'll speak to you soon, guys.